Manipur, state of India located in the northeastern part of the country. It is one of the 8 states of northeastern part of India and is a jeweled land because it is surrounded by 9 hills with an oval-shaped valley at the center. The name Manipur means the land of gems. It is bordered by the Indian states of Nagaland to the north, Assam to the west and Mizoram to the southwest, and by Myanmar to the south and east. It is largely isolated from the rest of India. Its economy centers on agriculture, forestry, trade and cottage industries also are important. It is a very beautiful state, but nowadays if you open a newspaper or if you open a news channel, it is possible that incidents of Manipur violence comes to the fore.
Hello friends! Welcome to my channel Explore with Joyeeta.
On 3 May 2023, ethno-religious violence erupted in Manipur between the Meitei people and Kuki tribal community. As of 29 July, 181 people have been killed, more than 300 wounded, and approximately 54,488 displaced.
Now the question is that, what is the cause of this violence?
To understand the real or main cause of this violence, we have to learn about its history first.
Before starting this video, I request you to subscribe my channel to get more fascinating videos like this. And don't forget to like and share. Now let's move on.
The first record is from 33 AD from a source called Chetarol Kumbaba. Chetarol Kumbaba is a court chronicle. It is a mixture between history and myth. This chronicle talks about a Meitei kingdom in Manipur. Its origin goes back to the king Pakhangba. He is often called the dragon or serpent king. His symbol is a snake with its tail in its mouth. Every Meitei ruler were the descendants of Pakhangba. Their religion was polytheistic and worshipped more than one god. They used to follow Sanamahism. There was another community who shared this land, the Nagas. They were tribals and used to live in the hills. The Nagas would often raid the Meitei kingdom. The Meiteis claimed their kingdom was all-encompassing, the valley, the hills, all of it, but the Nagas disagreed. They said that they were always independent. Around the late 18th century, the British arrived and as usual got down to business. Raja Jai Singh of Manipur signed a deal with the British. He needed help to defend against Burma. Burma is now Myanmar. The British planned to bring new people into Manipur and settle them along the foothills. This had 2 objectives. 1. It would defend against the Burmese invasion. 2. It would protect against the Naga raids. So Manipur's king had done the same. He resettled tribals from the Kuki Chin hills of the Burma in Manipur. But the Burmese continued invading Manipur and the Kukis kept on coming. In fact, Burma occupied Manipur from 1819 to 1826. It is called the 7 years of devastations. The occupation ended after the First Anglo-Burmese War. The British won decisively. This meant both good news and bad news. The good news was the end of Burmese occupation and the bad news was the British replaced Burma. Manipur became a British protectorate. Years passed like this, but in 1890 there was a palace school in Manipur. The Anglo-Manipur War broke out in 1891. The British won. They installed Churachand, the 5 years old, as a king. The British drew an imaginary line in the state. The Meitei Valley would be under the colonial government and they were not at all concerned about the hills beyond. By this time, the Kukis had begun the raids of their own. To prevent this, the British cracked down and this animosity reached a tipping point in 1917. World War I had started. The 5-year-old boy king had now become the Maharaja. The British asked him for soldiers. The Nagas agreed, but the Kukis did not. Instead, they launched a rebellion against the British. They continued to fight for 2 years. In the end, the British Indian Army had to be called in. The Kukis were driven further into the forest, and those events still influence Manipur's demography. The Kukis make up around 28% of the state's population, but they live in the hills which make up 90% of the state's area. The Meiteis form 53% of the population, but they live in the valley which is just 10% of the area. The Kukis hate the British but not the Meitei royals. Independence should have made things better, but successive governments failed to do very much. In 1947, Manipur acceded to India twice. Years later, it became a union territory. Around this time, the Naga insurgency began. Naga tribes in India were demanding a separate country. The Meiteis also took up arms. So now the Meiteis were fighting on two fronts, against the Indian government and against the Naga insurgent groups. Soon the Kukis set up their own insurgent groups. They wanted the Kuki land. Today the Meiteis have two major grievances. One, they feel that their culture and language is in danger, and two, they feel their state demography is changing. There are three important triggers for this. First is the High Court's order. Actually, since 2013, Meiteis were requesting a lot, the central and the state governments, that they should be given the scheduled tribe status. But no action was taken. Then this year, Manipur High Court told the state government that Meiteis should also be considered to give the scheduled tribe status. Against this order of the High Court, Naga, Kuki and other tribes on 3rd May in Churchandpur, a tribal solidarity march was launched, in which clashes took place between both communities. This was the second trigger because the first trigger was Manipur government's eviction drive. For a long time, the government in the hills, reserve forests and protected forests was issuing eviction warnings to remove illegal occupations. And finally, the illegal occupants were removed. The state government was after removing the illegal occupations because this area was a part of the drug trade. If you haven't heard about the Golden Triangle, then let me tell you. In Southeast Asia, Myanmar, Thailand and Laos have a huge drug trade of opium and brown sugar. And in Manipur, there are some towns which are exchange hubs of this drug trades and cultivation. That means the Golden Triangle was making the northeast of India a part of its drug trade. Manipur was becoming a producer of drugs from the receiver. Churachandpur district is the worst drug-affected area of Manipur.
Whatever the cause of this violence, it is terrible for the mankind and for our country. A healthy environment and a discussion with the government is very important to curb this violence. Because any kind of violence is harmful for the human race and also harmful to the whole world. So friends, this was my video today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you want to get more fascinating videos like this, subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like and share.